I've been recording things for the last couple of weeks and I've hated everything I've recorded because I feel like I'm boring. And that's what this video is going to be about. I'm going to be talking about one of my insecurities, which is being really, really boring, not just as a YouTuber, but as a person in general. People think that insecurities are just like these things that form in a vacuum, like, oh, I'm insecure because everyone gets insecure sometimes. But I think that all insecurities come from some place of truth. It doesn't mean that it's like always true, but your insecurities don't just come from nowhere. Like, there's a reason why you're feeling the way that you're feeling. Gen Z has this obsession with being mysterious and nonchalant. And I think that there's a really fine line between being mysterious and being boring. You see, people who are mysterious have something interesting about them that makes you want to learn more about them, but for whatever reason, you can't learn more about them. Maybe you see someone who drives a really expensive car and you're like, well, I wonder what they do for a living, right? That's somebody who's mysterious. But if you're someone who appears very average, right? Not bad, but just average, and nobody knows anything about you, then you can come off as kind of boring. I think that people who have a hard time expressing themselves are boring. If you've ever hung out with someone and they just don't seem to have an opinion on anything, that person is boring, right? That person, they don't seem to do anything. Like, they're like, some people, they're so afraid of like pushing the needle that like they end up becoming boring. And I think in their heads they think that they're super mysterious. Oh, I'm so mysterious, but truthfully, you're just boring, right? And I feel that way sometimes. I wasn't always boring, I think like many people, I was, a lot more confident as a child, and then over the years being told that you're doing too much, that you're being annoying, that you're being weird, after a while you just kind of start to shut down. And I started to water down my personality to a point where like I really have just become boring. Like, growing up, I was one of those kids that whenever I got excited, people would get mad and tell me that I'm being too loud, right? But then those same people would be like, oh, why are you so quiet? Okay, well, it seems like I can't win, right? In college, I dated a guy that like whenever I was feeling comfortable around him, he always made a point to make me feel kind of stupid or whatever. Like, he would tell me that I'm being childish, and not in a playful way. Like, he genuinely meant it. He'd tell me that I'm being childish, that I'm being immature, that I'm being too loud, that I'm being annoying. Like, he would always use very negative language to describe me whenever I was feeling like actually comfortable and I was actually expressing myself. And then whenever I was trying to be more palatable to him, suddenly I was boring and I had no personal. Okay, that's so embarrassing. I think one of my coworkers is like sitting in the car right next to me. Whatever. I used to feel embarrassed about like eating lunch in my car, but like everyone does that. Like, I've literally been sitting cooped up in an office for hours with people perceiving me, staring at, well, they're not staring at me, but you know what I mean? Like, you're being perceived, you're sharing a space with other people. Sometimes I just want to lay down and watch a YouTube video without headphones. And I can only do that in my car. I can't do that in the lobby of the office. Whatever. Anyways, I'm boring. Back to me being boring. I'm not actually boring. I'm just like insecure because I'm worried that I'm going to come off as annoying or offensive or bad or whatever. So I end up like never talking about myself ever. And now I'm getting to the point where I'm actually boring, where it's actually a problem. And I kind of need to get over that, or it's going to become a huge problem. Or it's already a huge problem. It's going to become a bigger problem. I think another thing about feeling boring is feeling FOMO, right? The fear of missing out. Sometimes I feel like I have to be doing activities in order to feel more interesting. Like I have to be eating somewhere interesting, reading something interesting. Oh, what are you doing this weekend? I have to be doing something interesting. But like, you don't really have to be doing something interesting to be interesting. You can just like, the way you communicate your life makes you more interesting. Like there are people who literally all they do is watch TV, but they seem way more interesting because they can talk about the media they consume with so much enthusiasm that they come up with more interesting. And then there's people who literally travel and they never talk about it. Okay, that's not true. There's not a single human being that travels and doesn't talk about it. I'm trying to think of something more interesting. There are people who like party every weekend and they never fucking talk about it. They're so boring. You ask them, well, what did you do this weekend? They're like, yeah, I just got beers with my friends. It's like, what the fuck? Why do you sound so dry? There's a YouTuber I watch. Ooh, the mic is peaking. There's a YouTuber I watch, Sarah Baska. She doesn't need a shout out from me. She could give me a shout out and I would be grateful. Sarah Baska. The thing I like about Sarah Baska's videos is that a lot of the times her videos aren't like, she's not talking about something that is particularly interesting, but like the way she communicates, it makes it more interesting. Like she was talking about how her car got stolen, which, you know, it's already kind of interesting, but like I think somebody who was boring would just say, yeah, my car was in the parking garage and my friend left the keys in the car accidentally, and then the guy saw the keys and, you know, drove off with my car. And it's like, oh my god, that sucks. Like, yeah, hopefully the cops will be able to find it. Like, that's boring. Somebody who's more interesting though can somehow turn that story into a 45-minute YouTube video, which is exactly what Sarah does. I think there are like some rare days where I feel more like myself and I'm able to like be more charismatic, and I've noticed that on those days my communication is just better. Like I'm just able to communicate things with more enthusiasm, so people are more interested in what I'm saying. Whereas on the days, well, these days, most days, when I'm feeling shitty, I'm just like really, really dry, and every conversation I have feels like small talk, no matter what I'm talking about. I could be talking about the secret of the universe and it would still feel like talking about the weather because I'm being dry. I'm being dry as fuck. So now I kind of want to talk about things that I think make people less boring. One, being able to laugh at yourself, right? Like, you know, everybody fucks up sometimes. Sometimes honesty is key, right? Two, you know, communicating in your own way. Sometimes people will try to make themselves sound smarter for no reason. You don't got to do that. Or make yourself sound cooler. Like, you know, those people who they like fake having vocal fry. That's just cringe. And I also think like, you know, seeking understanding. And what I mean by that is just trying to understand things, understand people, understand the world around you. When people talk to you, don't just be like, yeah, you know, ask questions, give commentaries, give opinions, you know, seek some kind of deeper understanding, and everything you talk about will feel deeper as a result, you know? Yeah, anyways, this is a really short video. But anyways, I'll see you guys next week. See ya.